Good evening, friends, and welcome you on this third eventful day of the AMA week on inspirations for a powerful personality. You must be wondering why our most dear and revered Swami Anubhavananda is sitting in this pose and posture. I think I must let out the secret, Swamiji.
You are free.
He has traveled 32 hours from Sao Paulo, Brazil, non-stop, to land here this morning in Ahmedabad. 32 hours of non-stop journey. And he felt that when he was in the plane for so many hours, probably he should continue his rehearsal a little more. Friends, he is going to speak on something which he has in fact practiced to reach here. Because only determination could have brought him here. 32 hours of travel notwithstanding, I think yesterday Swami Adhyatmananji also shared with you the fact that it was almost impossible for Anubhavanandaji to reach here because of flight juggleries and disturbances. But then he managed, I think he almost hijacked that one seat, which was for him, with the firm determination that come what may, he is going to make here and the AMA week, and therefore, friends, more than anything else, he deserves a thunderous round of applause from all of us. And you all know how delightfully refreshing he has been all over, because he has been one of our, you can say, blockbuster stars, along with, of course, a few others who share his company, like Swami Adhyatmanandaji and others, even Mr. G. Narayana, who is going to be there tomorrow, who have had the maximum appearances at the AMA week. And no wonder, because he has with him his two-word and two very simple worded slogan. If anybody asks him what is his ashram, what is his mantra, he will just say, be happy. And we all know that he truly practices being happy, and he makes every one of us at AMA truly happy. And of course, not just happy, but wisdomfully happy. Because at the end of it, all the happiness that he shares with us is embedded with so much of wisdom. Because he is himself one of the greatest champions and proponents of Indian wisdom, as you all know, with no forms, no restrictions, no barriers. And just to start on a lighter note, Adhyatmananda Swamiji yesterday talked to us about communication. And I remember, I think Swamiji, you will recall, it was several years ago in that H.T. Parekh Convention Center, when you shared with us this wonderful anecdote on communication. And what Swamiji told us yesterday, that communication has to be simple, it must be understood and understood perfectly. So Anubhavananda Swamiji was once mentioning that a teacher was given a tough task of teaching English. And the students found it extremely difficult to learn that, and more particularly the spellings of those very complex terms, some of them. So, in one of his classes, the teacher said, boys, I'll teach you one difficult English word, but you'll always remember in this very simple, communicative style that I will now share with you. And he told everybody, okay, मेरे साथ बोलो हिंदी में. So everybody started speaking. Gadha. And they all said Gadha. Then he said, Gadhe ke piche Gadha. Then everybody said, Gadhe ke piche Gadha. Then he said, Gadhe ke piche main. Then everybody said yes. Mere piche sara desh. Sabne kaha desh. So what did it finally work out to? Gadha, gadhe ke piche gadha, gadhe ke piche main, mere piche sara desh. And while all this was going on, the principal came around. And he was witnessing, and he says, what is this gadha business going on in the class? This teacher himself seems to be a big gadha. So he was furious, And the teacher said, Principal Saab, suniye to sahi. We have all decided to teach the students in a very simple language. So what are you teaching? He says, I am to teach them the spelling of the English term assassination. And what is it? A-double-S, followed by A-double-S, followed by I, and finally followed by nation. So Gadha, Gadhe ke piche Gadha, Gadhe ke piche main aur mere piche sara desh. See, this is the wonderful learnings. Nobody will forget, Swami. Kabhi koi bhulega. Today I remembered this because today what he's going to talk about ends with another nation. In fact, we've had 3 nations in a row. Imagination, communication, and determination. I wish everybody in our nation, if they had at least these 3 things ending with the word nation, our nation would be very different. You'll all agree for sure. Anyway, friends, this wonderful subject of determination, and somebody has very rightly said that the difference between the impossible and the possible lies in just one single word, and that is your determination. Don't you think so, friends? Whether a thing is possible or impossible is relative, because if you have the determination or otherwise, you will go for one of them. And therefore, friends, even I would like to share with you, and those of you who have it, my pictorial calendar of photographs, what I call as a timeless calendar with the motivational quotes. That the word D, the letter D, I have used the term determination to go with that. And I have quoted that if we wake up every morning with determination, for sure we are going to go to bed with satisfaction. Friends, determination, if you start with determination, it will result in satisfaction. And that is what we want when we talk of personality power. And that is, friends, Swamiji is going to give us the key, the Guru Mantra for determination. But it's not easy. I'll just conclude with this beautiful quote. In fact, from the lovely poem of Henry W. Longfellow. I'm sure you all must have heard it, but it's always worth listening over and over again. So beautifully said, the heights by great men reached and kept. The heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, for they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards in the night. Friends, determination calls for perseverance, persistence, hard work. As they say, a gold medal is not made of gold. It is made of sweat. Your sweat can convert it into gold. And today, friends, we are here to listen to these great words of wisdom embedded in letters of gold. I would want to request Swamiji, but just a couple of very pleasant announcements this evening. And Swamiji, a promise also to take from you for the 20th AMA week. Of course, every time you have been so kind, but I am very happy to share with you, because you've been there all along with us, that with these 19 AMA weeks, you know, generally our weeks are 5 days, so 19 fives are 95. But in this 19 weeks, we've had 4 weeks where we have had 6 days, so 4 more. So at the conclusion of the 19th AMA week, we will be at our 99th milestone. It is something like, you know, Tendulkar or Sehwag on the verge of a century. And therefore, as you know, Tendulkar is also eluding that 100th time ton. So there will be no illusion at AMA. I am sure you will be there when we celebrate next time with the launch of the 20th AMA week, entering into our 100th wisdom lecture in the AMA week series. And of course, I am sure, friends, we'll have all of you in equally large numbers as well. And the last thing is, friends, before Swamiji takes over, I would request him to release a book of one of his very dear disciples, Seema Agarwal, who has been also very closely associated at AMA. It's a book called Parables. It's a collection of inspiring short stories. And this book, compiled and written by Seema, who is herself a diploma in interior design and decoration and a certificate in a comprehensive writing course. She is the author of a number of books. In fact, I've had the privilege of releasing one of her first books. I am very happy that today her third book is being released by Swami Anubhavananda. Seema, I would request you to please come here, and friends, give her a warm round of applause as Swamiji blesses her.
These are not chilies. They look like chilies, but they are fish. Maybe stuffed with chili.
And
she has asked me to say something about the book. So why should I say about her?
Can she present flowers to you on our...
She has been always fooling around me. Seema wrote me an email. You all know email, emotional blackmail. And in that, she has asked me to write something for the book which I have not read. But then she is very smart. She sent me a soft copy, and I got a soft corner for her. So I read that, and then this foreword was written. Learning from everything and being that constitutes the spiritual practice. The 9 stories in this book of Seema is her creative attempt to initiate readers to this art of learning. When we learn from every experience of our life, we grow wise and do not create dents and wounds of likes and dislikes on our mind. This process of purification of mind is aimed at in this wonderful book of parables. Seema has grown in her spiritual unfoldment through this process by learning from various events of her life, and this book is the result of this learning. Stop aging by constant learning. This is the way. So I give this book to you, and you should also learn something. Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmat Uttishta Kaunteya Yuddhaya Kruta Nishchayaha. Bhagavad Gita forms the life of every thought of my life. Bhagavad Gita forms the content of every cell of my life. Bhagavad Gita is embedded in every chromosome of my life. Bhagavad Gita is the very DNA of living with determination. If we want to learn the art of determination, what we have to do is study Bhagavad Gita in such a manner that we disappear. The whole problem where we lack determination is because of this small little I.com. Wherever there is I, there is lack of determination. Less of I and more of we together constitutes determination. One of my friend in Delhi, he told me once, he never used to be kind of going for satsang, etc. And he said, when he was in a problem, he came and he attended some talks. And when I left Delhi, he said, Swamiji, after you go, what will I do? I said, same thing what you were doing earlier. Wahi tamaku, wahi chuna, ragud aur khao. What else? No, I want to tell you something. I said, I am ready to listen. He said, after listening you, I have learned so many things. One example I'll give you. I said, give. Earlier, when I used to go for my meetings, I used to dictate. No, this. And it used to be terrible anger, frustration. And when I used to come home, the strong shoulder of my wife used to be my leaning point. But God has taken away that shoulder because probably I was too heavy. And therefore, I started coming to your lecture. I said, okay, what did you learn? He said, earlier I used to dictate and that should happen. Once you told a very simple technique. Everything can be done in so many ways, but we are all obsessed by one particular angle. We are unable to see the possibility of looking at the same thing from different perspective because of our obsession. The load of obsession reduces the capital I into a small I. See? And when this small I comes, we lack determination. We become obsessed. Determination with obsession is a burden. Determination with freedom is a joy. I said, okay, what do you do now? He said, I took your technique. When we went for the meeting, about 20 big people sitting, I put the paper. He was an architect. You know the architect? The one who is expert in line marna is the architect. So he said, I put the blueprint and I told, now everybody please contribute. What you think, what you think. Everybody said. And I was just keeping quiet. Inside I was boiling, but I said, no, today I am going to take this technique. And after all that was over, then he said, okay, you all heard each other. Now, what will be the conclusion that you want to arrive at? And again I kept quiet. After some time, they deliberated and a conclusion came. And to my surprise, it was the same conclusion which I wanted to arrive at. But now the difference was, earlier it was I was telling and they were obeying. In that, more of I and less of we. Today it was the other way around. And therefore, their participation was full. Because now it was no more the program or the project told by the boss and we are executing. But now it was our program and everybody is participating. Friends, the real determination is this subtle art of getting everybody involved and let them experience that it is their program, not somebody else's force on them. See, friends, dictation cannot bring unfoldment of the inner peace and joy. And it is for this purpose, the best important thing is that we have to recognize this virus called as small I. You know, there are 3 types of viruses. Last time I told you. One is H1N1. Isn't it? H1 is the visa for USA. Isn't it? So that is one virus, H1N1. It is a biological virus. The second one is the computer virus, which is a logical fallacy introduced in the process of thinking. So the software goes into a kind of a loop, and it keeps on going there, and your whole program logic. Because what is software engineering or programming? Thinking of all possible options. Therefore, all software engineers, they don't live a real life. They live an optional life. And they don't like to look at beautiful faces. They like to look at only the monitor. And therefore, they are dumb. See? So, the computer virus is a logical virus. And our small little I is an illogical virus. There is no logic behind it. See, friends. Therefore, why we are unable to have firm determination is because of this obsession of small little thing in our life. Determination is possible for every one of us if we have got the 3 kind of things. Mukesh Bhai told the 3 TIONs, shuns, determination, communication, frustration. See, so we have to have the 3 also. One is the passion. Second is the dispassion. And the third is the compassion. When these 3 things come together, determination is born. Unless we have passion for something higher, we will never be committed to that. See, friends, if you see right in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna's question was the same question, same problem which all of us have. It is an eternal problem.